Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Life history of Funaria. As you know, asexual and sexual both type of reproduction occur in case of life history of Funaria. This is the sexual life cycle of Funaria, which is shown in this diagram. As you know, the main body which is dominant is the Gametophyte in case of all bryophytes, and Funaria is a bryophyte plant. And second generation, which is recessive, is called as Sporophyte. Gametophyte gives rise to Sporophyte, and Sporophyte gives rise to Gametophyte. These are the stages that are under the Gametophyte generation, and these are the stages that are under the Sporophyte generation. So these stages alternate with each other. Directly, Gametophyte cannot produce Gametophyte, and Sporophyte cannot produce Sporophyte. Gametophyte always produces Sporophyte, and Sporophyte always produces Gametophyte. So we now start the different types of reproduction. First of all, different types of vegetative propagation in case of Funaria. Gametophyte employ following method for vegetative propagation: multiplication of protonemal stage. जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि जब स्पोर जर्मिनेट करता है, प्लॉयड स्पोर, और गमीटोफाइट प्रोडक्शन उसकी जो है वो ग्रोथ होती है, तो उसकी जो फर्स्ट ग्रोथ होती है वो प्रोटोनीमा ग्रोथ कहलाती है। तो उसमें हम मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ प्रोटोनीमल स्टेज की बात कर रहे हैं। प्राइमरी प्रोटोनीमा breaks at different places into fragments of different sizes. Each fragment may contain one cell or more. These fragments have the capacity to produce new protonema and fresh crop of gametophytes. So protonemal stage जो है वो multiplication में जाके इसमें मज़ीद जो है वो इस तरह के plants produce कर सकती है। Secondary protonema. Protonema may also be formed from the detached portion of leafy gametophyte. Leafy gametophyte से मुराद है कि यानी लेटेस्ट स्टेजेस में जब ये जुवेनाइल नहीं होती तो उस वक्त भी ये अपने डिफरेंट जो है पोर्शन जो है वो प्रोड्यूस कर सकती है, वो डिटैच हो सकते हैं और पूरा का पूरा फ्यूनेरिया प्लांट बना सकते हैं। दिस प्रोटोनीमा इज नोन एज सेकेंडरी प्रोटोनीमा. इट आल्सो गिव्स राइज टू न्यू gametophyte in same way as primary protonema. ट्यूबर्स जो है स्मॉल आउटग्रोथ आर फॉर्म्ड ऑन राइजोइड्स. दीज आर कॉल्ड ट्यूबर्स. ट्यूबर्स गिव्स राइज टू न्यू प्रोटोनीमा, यानी आउटग्रोथ प्रोड्यूस हुई हैं और वो राइजोइड्स के ऊपर बनी है। ट्यूबर्स मीन यानी जो है इनमें फूड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ स्टार्च स्टोर हुई है और ये जो है वो इनको रिटैच करके न्यू प्लांट बना सकते हैं। गेमी, वैसे ही प्लांट्स जो ब्रायोफाइट्स हैं उनमें गेमी एक खास किस्म की स्ट्रक्चर्स प्रोड्यूस होती हैं जो कि उनकी वेजिटेटिव प्रोपेगेशन में यूज होती हैं. दीज आर स्मॉल आउटग्रोथ फॉर्म ऑन द लीफी gametophyte, नॉट ऑन rhizoid but on leafy gametophyte or terminal cell of the protonema. These gamete after detaching from parent plant gives rise to new protonema under favorable conditions. Apospore. Sometimes protonema may develop from unspecialized cells of sporophyte. This type of protonema also gives rise to new leafy gametophyte. Production of leafy gametophyte from vegetative cell of sporophyte without intervention of spores is called as apospore. These are all different types of asexual method of reproductions. Now we are going to start sexual phase of life cycle in case of Funaria. Sexual reproduction in Funaria is carried out by formation of antherozoids and egg. Antherozoids mean male gametes, also known as sperms, and egg mean female gamete, which is also known as ovum, formed inside the Antheria and Artigonia respectively. जैसा कि एंथीरोजॉइड जैसा कि स्पर्म जो हैं they are produced inside the male structure called as Antheria, and eggs are produced inside the structure Artigonia. Both of these organs are produced in clusters at the tip of the branches of gametophyte. Their formation limits the growth of branch. Funaria plants are monoecious. Monoecious means male and female sex organs are formed on the same plant. Antheridia, the branch produces antheridia, male organs called as antherio 4 branch. These antheridia can be seen as tiny red spots on tip of branches. आप इनको माइक्रोस्कोप से या वैसे भी इनको ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं कि रेड स्पॉट्स बने हों. These are known as, these red spots at the tip branches are known as antheridia. Many leaves surround the cluster of antheridia. These leaves are called as perigonial leaves. Aggregation of both antheridial cluster and perigonial leaves is known as perigonium. Among the antheridial cluster, many hair-like appendages borne are called as paraphyses. Paraphyses जो हैं, they are not fertile but they are infertile structures. They are not produced at the tip. Antheria, they are not produced tip, but these are only the branches, so they are infertile sterile branches. Body of antheridium has jacket layer of flattened cells. Inside the jacket layer, anthrocyte cells form biflagellated antherozoids. यानी इसकी जो ऊपर एक लेयर है जो कि इसकी प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर है, उसको जैकेट लेयर का नाम दिया गया. अंदर सेल्स हैं जिनको एंड्रोसाइट का नाम दिया गया, जो कि मेल गैमेट फॉर्मिंग सेल्स हैं जिनसे एंथीरोजोइड या स्पर्म की डेवलपमेंट होती है. दिस इज द होल लाइफ साइकिल. फॉर एग्जांपल, दिस इज अ प्लांट that is gametophyte plant, that is dominant plant, and the maturity, on reaching maturity, two types of structures are produced on this plant. One is a male structure, that is antheridia, and second is a female structure which is known as Artigonia. Inside Artigonia, egg is to be produced, which is haploid and which is produced by the mitosis, not by meiosis, because gametophyte plant is already haploid plant. And inside antheria, antherozoids or sperms are to be produced by, these are biflagellated, and these are released when antheridium is burst, and these spores by using water media reach the Artigonium, and egg will fertilize. After fertilization, zygote is to be formed, which is diploid, and now this is the start of sporophyte development, sporophyte generation. This is the start of sporophyte generation. And now Funaria, sporophyte of Funaria is consisted of three parts. First, which is embedded inside the gametophyte, which is known as foot, and long stalk, which is seta, and at the tip of seta there is a swelled portion which is known as capsule. Inside the capsule, various spores are to be produced by the process of meiosis. In case of Funaria, there is a beginning development of sporophyte, which is the dependent, by which sporophyte is dependent upon gametophyte, but in later cases the sporophyte can photosynthesize and can produce their own sugars, and it has a mesosomatic band by which it can grow larger, and it has three portions, which is, first is embedded, that is foot in the gametophyte, long seta, and at the tip is its capsule. So inside the capsule, spores are to be produced by the process of meiosis. Spores, when land on suitable media, they germinate to produce gametophyte plant body again. So there is alternation of generation. Gametophyte produces sporophyte, and sporophyte produces gametophyte. Artigonia, female sex organ are Artigonia. They are produced on branches called Artigonium 4. यानी वो ब्रांच जिसके ऊपर Artigonia लगते हैं, Artigonium 4, which are originated from Antherio 4. Artigonia are aggregated at terminal portion of Artigonium 4. Leaves present around the Artigonia are known as perichasial leaves. These overlaps and close over to the top of Artigonium for production. ये इसको कवर कर लेते हैं उसकी प्रोडक्शन के लिए. पैराफाइसेस आर आल्सो प्रेजेंट इन द क्लस्टर ऑफ आर्टिगोनिया. यहाँ भी पैराफाइसिस प्रेजेंट है। पैराफाइसिस इनफर्टाइल स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, यानी ये वो ब्रांचेस हैं जिनके ऊपर ना ही एंथीरिया स्ट्रक्चर्स प्रोड्यूस होती हैं और ना ही आर्चिगोनिया प्रोड्यूस होती हैं, यानी ना ही ये ब्रांचेस एग प्रोड्यूस करने में किरदार अदा करेंगी और ना ही स्पर्म प्रोड्यूस एंथीरोजोइड्स प्रोड्यूस करने में किरदार। सो दे आर नोन एज पैराफाइसिस। दिस होल स्ट्रक्चर इज नोन एज पेरिटेरियम। Individual Archegonium consists of swollen portion or the venter and long narrow neck। यानी वेंटर का मतलब होता है सुराही यानी कैविटी है, और लॉन्ग नैरो जो गर्दन है, नेक है। यानी अगर आप इस डायग्राम में आर्चिगोनिया को देखें, दिस लॉन्ग नेक इज दी this long is the neck and this is the venter। venter mean garage या सुराही, यानी cavity, inside venter there is a egg। हम दोबारा अपने उसी जो है वो लाइन पे आते हैं। Swollen portion called as venter and long narrow portion is neck। At the base of venter there is massive stalk which connect the archegonium with gametophyte tissue। Venter has venter cavity and resides the egg। यहाँ पे egg मौजूद है। During rainy season the plant becomes wet। अब वेट है तो इसका मतलब है एंथीरोजोइड जहाँ से पहुँचने के लिए जो है वो उनके लिए एक बेहतरीन किस्म का जो है वो रास्ता डेवलप हो चुका है। मॉइस्चर इज एब्जॉर्ब बाय द एंथीरिया एंड इट बिकम्स रप्चर्ड। एंथीरोजोइड्स आर रिलीज फ्रॉम रप्चर्ड साइड एंड स्विम इन वाटर टूवर्ड्स द आर्चिगोनिया chemotactically। Chemotactically mean Artigonia release some type of chemicals, and for these chemicals the therozoid can reach to the Artigonia। After getting entry into Artigonia, entherozoid fertilize the egg to form zygote। Zygote soon changes into embryo। Upper portion of embryo forms capsule, middle forms seta which is a long stalk, and lowermost portion form foot which absorb food from gametophyte, which is embedded in gametophyte and absorb food and nutrients। This portion structure is Sporophyte of Funaria। Spores are formed inside the capsule of Funaria by meiosis। These spores are released from the capsule when capsule wall becomes dry and ruptured। After falling on suitable place, spores germinate to form primary protonema which gives rise to new leafy gametophytes। Thank you।